What's up, everybody? This is the Real Bad Takes podcast, episode 4. My name is Josh. Our co-host Ethan has returned for our Halloween episode. We are getting into the Exorcist 1 and 2, the Blair Witch Project, and then after that we are getting into Ethan's review of The Town and my review of Don't Worry Darling. This should go without saying, but spoiler alert for all of these movies. Hope you enjoy. So do you want to start with Exorcist 1 or Exorcist
1?
Okay.
I mean, I haven't watched it in about a year, but I think we can have a good talk.
Yeah,
it's jump into.
I mean, I feel like I'm gonna remember it a year from now. Like I was telling you earlier that I did not remember the first half of that movie. I swear I've seen it, but maybe I've just seen clips, and maybe I've just seen Scary Movie 1.
Oh man, we'll talk about Scary Movie 2 when we get to Exorcist 2, because when the two Reagans split up, and then she's like, she's evil, kill, and then he's like making out with her on the bed.
Oh man, I didn't even. That's
Father.
Yeah, but dude, Exorcist 1, that is a almost perfect movie.
Yeah,
I would say that.
Yeah,
it actually scared me.
Absolutely.
Like it actually gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Mm-hmm.
It had like a jump scare or two.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't really. It's funny seeing now everything's either a jump scare or it's like creep factor.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ari Aster is like genuine.
Oh, Ari Aster loves The Exorcist, you could tell.
Yeah, definitely. Like he loves that, like kind of sitting in like a
slow
moment.
burn.
Yeah. And just one of my favorite parts of The Exorcist on rewatch, I guess, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. I don't know. No one has any proof of me watching that before. But is when he's trying to get proof that to do the exorcism.
Yeah, to get approval from the Vatican or whatever.
How he comes in kind of suave.
We're talking the young priest, right?
Yeah, Karras.
Yeah, Father
Karras, yeah. And like when he's coming in, he's like, the drawer opens, like, did you do that? And actually, a plot hole weird thing that I noticed was she starts speaking Latin, and then and he speaks Latin back to her, or him, or whatever, the devil that's inside of her, and then that's kind of the proof that they use. But then he says like, no, it's just English backwards. It's like, so you didn't know what she was saying. Actually, you were just saying Latin gobbledygook back to her.
Oh yeah, because they were trying to see if it was just a mind thing. It was just mental health. Just
And like that was another shocking thing about the movie was, I mean, every other like possession movie seems like it has such a quick pacing from, oh, our kids acting weird to they're possessed.
Yeah.
This one, it's like 40 minutes.
Of
like
it's psychological horror.
Yeah. Like it
dips into the supernatural.
Like
really.
Even to the point where they're like 88 doctors have assessed this.
Yeah.
And they got nothing. They want to do another like spinal thing.
Oh,
which is maybe the most like the roughest part for me. Like
that thing was trippy to me because like because I work in CAT scans. And yeah, usually with the IV contrast, it's just the IV that they put in your arm. Yeah. But they put it straight into her
the jugular.
Yeah, straight to the jugular.
So what is that? Like,
it's a chemical dye that it's clear, but when it's injected through the imaging, through radiation, you can see better.
It gives you depth, kind of thing. Okay.
Because it goes through your blood vessels and everything. Yeah.
Honestly, the CAT scan thing was probably the scariest part of that movie.
And that shit was loud too, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It was so grating, and then even like the second CAT scan they did, where it's like moving all over the place. I was like, oh, it's creepy.
The technology has gotten a lot better. That could be an MRI for all I know.
Something that's outdated at this point. but
because the MRIs are the ones that are super loud.
I got an MRI once, and that's scary. Like it just being like, even if you're not claustrophobic, that'll make you a little claustrophobic.
Absolutely.
Like,
I've seen so many people freak out and they can't do it.
Like I had to like talk myself down a little bit.
Yeah.
Like because I was like waist up in it, and I was just like, okay, breathe.
And they put the little cage over your head.
Yeah. One that like I remember they are the one I had since it wasn't my head. They had like a little like landscape I was looking at, and it really just pissed me off. I was like really like I know where I am.
So the true horror in The Exorcist is the
medical field.
Yeah.
but like that scene when she's sitting in the round table with all the doctors and the guy like throws out the idea of an exorcism, like you'd expect like the score kicks in like dun dun dun, and she just goes, "You want me to call a witch doctor?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Damn, that is awesome."
Yeah. Like, just so nonchalant.
Yeah, just like it took like an act of desperation for her to have to go to Father Karras for that, and even then, like then like it was my Letterboxd review, but like Father Karras pretty much goes like, "Lady, like, you think the healthcare system's bad? You wouldn't believe what you got to do to get some good faith care around here." It's just like, but to be fair, I would say the one one issue, it wasn't that hard.
Yeah,
it was pretty quick that they got
the
Marin. Yeah, they got Marin in there.
Played by Max von Sydow. Yeah.
Maybe it was the fact that Marin was like the guy. To be doing that.
Yeah.
And then always like and when they play her voice backwards, she says Marin.
Yeah, that's right.
That was always kind of cool.
Just to brush up people. Josh recently watched The Exorcist. I watched it about a year ago, so I'm just going off of memory here.
Yeah. I mean, I think we got equal parts of in this episode of movies you haven't seen it at least in a while.
Yeah.
Or in movies I haven't seen in a while. So I think we'll be on a fair trade here.
Yeah. But back to The Exorcist. Yeah, one something I really remember that really stuck with me last time was Father Karras' all of his stuff in the opening acts with all the stuff with his mother, you know, and him losing his faith and all that. And the scariest shit to me in that movie is it's right before you find out his mother died, and he has that nightmare.
Yeah, where going into the
subway, and just the audio, it's so fucking creepy. And then you see that face, you see the demons.
Oh man,
dude! Every time,
I
like
got chills doing. You just said that, right?
Dude, every time I've tried to go to sleep, you know, and then just pitch black in my room. And then sometimes that face will just, I'll think of that face for a split second. I have to turn the lights on.
That's going to be my intrusive thought now. Damn it.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
but yeah.
Wait, this is a dumb question. Did Rocky base his film off Father Karras?
Oh. Yeah, he's a pretty hot priest, you know?
Yeah, he's a pretty hot priest. But also, a lot of similar story beats of Father Karras' like story arc. He loses.
Yeah. He loses to Apollo in the end.
He loses to the stairs. No, but that I mean, I already knew about, like, you've seen the clip millions of times, whether you've seen the movie or not, of all the in the room stuff, how it's all cold and the throw up. But the scene where he takes the demon into him, man, like the bulging eyes,
dude.
Like, oh,
and just that actor Jason Miller, his acting, dude, it's so intense.
Yeah, well, like watching him struggle, while Marin is like just powering through it.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I was talking with like my coworkers about it earlier today, and they were telling me all the lore about it, like just like how they actually consulted actual Catholic priests to know how the exorcism should have gone, and like that, like little stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, one of my coworkers actually believes in that stuff, so it was kind of it one of those fun coworker conversations where it's like, I don't feel like going down this path.
Oh, really cool, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, oh, that's why you don't watch horror movies. Okay.
Yeah. And man, what else could we talk about? Man, because it's just not fresh in my head. So.
No, yeah, I mean, the beginning, the lore of like the relic that they find.
Oh yeah, like,
like,
it starts in Iraq.
Yeah, that like kind of shocked me at first. That was my first hint of like, have I seen this movie?
Yeah.
And then it stays there for like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't think I've seen this.
Yeah, There's a good amount of time that little intro in Iraq.
Yeah. I mean, we mainly did this. I watched Exorcist 1 to get into Exorcist 2.
Yeah.
So I'm down to just run right. Like, okay, Exorcist. It's a fantastic movie.
Absolutely.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Hot take, guys. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
But Exorcist 2, is it? Did you tell me it's like, someone told me that it's like one of the worst, like dubbed one of the worst movies ever.
Yeah, I'm the one who told. So Exorcist 1, big hit, huge hit. Pre-Jaws blockbuster, like huge. Best Picture nominated for Best Director, all that stuff. Exorcist 2 comes along like 4 years later, I think. Directed by the first film was directed by William Friedkin. He had a very illustrious career, MAGA now. Exorcist 2 directed by John Boorman. I've recently discovered John Boorman with Excalibur, which is a total masterpiece about the King Arthur legend. Very very psychedelic surrealism. And I also watched another one of his movies years ago called Deliverance, backwoods survivalist kind of movie.
I've seen I've watched it.
You've watched great fucking movie.
You suggested that to me. I think I watched it.
Yeah, it's fucking great. Exorcist 2, The Heretic, though, directed by John Boorman. So yeah, that movie came out, and you could go on Wikipedia and find all this info, but apparently at the premiere, people were so mad that apparently John Boorman had to hit the streets and people were chasing him. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Director of Exorcist 1, William Friedkin, he's gone on record saying he watched about 20 minutes of it, and he referred to John Boorman as a total idiot.
He didn't even get to the hypnosis scene?
He probably got to the hypnosis.
It was probably like at the hypnosis, like, what are you doing to my movie?
But yeah, this is widely regarded as being a terrible, terrible movie. And going into it, I had just watched this for the first time. I think I purchased it about a year ago after watching Exorcist 1 because I was on a little bit of a Boorman kick, and I hadn't watched it till this week. And setting in on it, what's the opening scene? Okay,
really, it's just the hypnosis scenes that are still in my brain now.
So Reagan from Exorcist 1, who is the possessed girl, she's living in New York.
Isn't it a therapy scene?
Yeah, it might be a therapy scene. Yeah. So Ellen Burstyn, who played the mother in the first movie, she probably said "fuck no" when they asked her to come back. So they replaced her with a character played by Louise Fletcher from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. She played Nurse Ratched.
Okay.
She actually just died about a week ago, I think.
Oh, R.I.P.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing this episode, guys.
That's why we're doing this episode. Yeah,
that's definitely why.
Because she's terrible in the movie. She's a terrible doctor.
She's a very.
She's not a villain or anything. She
shoots at the hip for a doctor.
During the hypnosis shit, she hypnotizes her and says like, "You're not gonna remember any of this." And then when she wakes up and she's like, "Reagan, did you remember any of that?" And she's like, "Yeah, I did." She's like, "You're not supposed to." And then that's that. There's no discussion.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, she doesn't even ask her like, "Oh, what did you?" No, it's just nope. It's like, don't remember it.
I got a lot of clients. We'll deal with that later.
well, Dr. Jean, her name's Jean, spelt like the male Jean, not the female Jean, because I think I read that it was supposed to be a male. It was written for a male.
Yeah.
And. Yeah, I guess she's just babysitting Reagan till her mother gets back from another film shoot.
Yeah, it's just weird.
It's so weird.
Like the setup. I actually, now that like we're kind of hashing it out, I do see what like I definitely saw some of the flaws while I was watching it, but the whole retconning the cause of Marin's death, I think it does take away a little bit from The Exorcist. That like. No, don't get me wrong. The hypnosis scene where it shows how Marin actually died is crazy cool.
Yeah, but that was like the first scene in like it was like the first 20 minutes. That was the first scene because I had the same thoughts you were, where I was like, oh, I could see why this is considered bad. But the when that happened, and I was kicking in, I was like, oh, this is really creepy.
Yeah,
like existentially,
it's like a really cerebral, like scary thought.
Yeah,
to dive into, but it is a bit at the expense of changing something about the Exorcist, because his Marin's heart issues, his like pills that he was taking was already established. So it's completely reasonable that
it's never mentioned that. It's never mentioned that
he
had a weak heart already.
He just needs a little tickle. And
Oh, that shit was pretty cool.
Dude, no, that was so cool. Look at like just those practical effects. I think we said it every episode. They don't do it.
They
like
don't
that
do
no
shit
more.
like that anymore. To explain what we're talking about here is so
there's about 50 cross dissolves
Yeah.
going on at the same time.
So they're in Reagan's mind, and they're going back to when Father Marin died in the first movie, and like it just basically X-rays into him, and you could see the organs and stuff, and you could see the heart pumping, and then the demon's just like fucking with his heart, right?
like tickling it. Not like it's very clever because you're expecting it's gonna like squeeze it,
squeeze
and
the
burst
fuck out
it.
of it.
But it just doesn't. It's just enough to make it. I guess not make that a noteworthy thing that they should have said in the first one. Because I mean, it creates the plot for this one. If his heart was just crushed inside his body, that would probably be something you should mention at the end of the first movie. But no, he just had like a heart failure.
He already had a heart issue,
and he had heart. Yeah,
it wasn't hard to fuck with it.
So like just that that little tender thing you gotta. He at least gave it credence. To be like, no, he's still. It is the whole plot of him just trying to find out how Father Marin died, like kind of thing.
And which leads into the demon still inside of Reagan. Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing where it's like it's interesting to me that it's like it's hardly affecting her. Like she's kind of like learned to live with her demon.
Oh, very, very, very much so.
We're just hanging out. He's in there. He's chill. Every once in a while, he tells me to go stab that person, and I don't. Sometimes I make an autistic kid talk.
And then my wonderful doctor tells me not to do that.
Yeah. Also that. I kind of get it.
I get it, but like she fucking cured that girl's autism apparently.
Also, why is this confirmed possessed person around mentally ill children? Or like mentally handicapped children. I
don't understand this babysitter program at all.
Yeah.
She just comes over, they inception into her brain, and then that's that for the day. Good session today, Reagan.
Yeah. Well, and the funny part was like when like one of the little girls is like, "Oh, I want you to draw something." And then she starts drawing, like literally when she starts at the eyebrows, I immediately see him like drawing an evil face, making an evil face. Yep. And it's like what's the priest name in Exorcist 2?
I forget his. Let me look.
Is he the cardinal or something like that, or is that the guy who sends him?
The cardinal sends him.
Okay.
So
he's like billed higher than him though. I think. I was looking on Letterboxd. It's weird.
Dick Burton.
Burton.
The hell? Why am I not? Richard. Okay, if you look on Letterboxd for Exorcist 2, Richard Burton is at the bottom.
Right? Okay, yeah.
He plays Father Lamont.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's been sanctioned by the Vatican, I guess. The Cardinal, which is played by Paula Henreid from which was tripping me out. He's the guy getting cucked in Casablanca.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was watching it and I was thinking like, holy fuck, like Casablanca feels like it was 100 years from now, but back then it was just like 35 years ago.
That is like
when you think about things like that, it really wakes you out. But
yeah.
But
well, I mean, Exorcist was kind of like a like it was like the iPhone of movies. Like it kind of like you can just walk around with a camera. That's crazy, dude. Doesn't it shake? It's like no, not if you're like good at it.
So this Father Lamont, he's been sanctioned by the Vatican to investigate Father Marin's death. And yeah, it takes him to New York, and immediately he's at this clinic or whatever, and they're gonna jump into Reagan and the good doctor. They're gonna jump into each other's minds, and And this shit was so hilarious to me because when they jump into Reagan's mind, and it's a little cheesy. It's just a box with two lights, and they turn the light on and it's like a strobe light effect. And
I did like the strobe light with the sound.
Yeah.
And, you like it's an unnerving sound until it hits the lowest point.
Yeah.
And it's like a real good like sub sound,
Yeah.
like a sub like drum machine sound, and you're like, oh
yeah,
we're there.
Yeah.
Like it's like we've arrived. Do you feel that when that note hits?
Yeah, no, I think that stuff's pretty cool.
I did laugh at it at first when she was like, I want to do the hypnosis machine, and I'm just like, the fuck is this? It's like, oh, it's the whole movie. Okay.
and it's just apparently just one machine that somebody built that somebody could just cop later.
I got it on Amazon.
But anyway, what made me really laugh immediately was when they turn on the machine and it shows a close up of Linda Blair's face, and to show that she's in the Inception machine, she does like a cross-eyed eye flutter.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, okay, that's funny. And then they showed Louise Fletcher, the doctor, they showed her do it, and she did it pretty like, you could tell she was uncomfortable doing it.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like, I think the doctor gets stuck in there or something, and so the father has to hop in there. When he sits down, they show his close-up. He doesn't even try the eye flutter.
He almost rolls his eyes.
Yeah.
He's
like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that shit.
Well, and the other thing is, like, I love how quickly he was, like, as a priest, like a person of religion,
a person of faith. Yeah.
Is this not like some kind of like
this is sci-fi shit?
Some
here.
pseudo like witchcraft stuff, like, but he's just like, let me get in there.
He's like
put me in, coach.
He's like the new pope right now. You know.
Yeah.
He's he's a very progressive pastor, or whatever.
Yeah, and he just goes straight in.
He just goes straight. He just dives straight.
I think
in
he
there.
literally just goes, let me in.
Yeah.
And then he sits down, and it doesn't even show him putting it on. It's just on. But that reminds me, there was a part, it was probably later, but I think it's when he's explaining something to the doctor. And she walks across the camera, and then kind of almost, it looks like she's turning around to face him, but he's looking at her, and then when she goes out of the camera's view, he just stares straight at the camera. And I could tell he was trying to do, like, they were trying to do something fancy with directing.
Yeah.
But just seeing his eyes shift clearly from the actress to the camera, it's like it felt weird. It was so odd. I was like, stop talking to me.
You had to look behind you to make sure.
It was like a Ferris Bueller moment. I was like, and then in the climax when the house is falling apart, there's a really funny shot of like the house is in ruins, and he like comes out of the rubble, and he just shows up in the bottom right quadrant, and he looks back straight into the camera again. And I'm just like, what's going on?
Dude, how about so they like you said, they retcon some of the Father Merrin stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they actually one of like I think 3 returning cast members is Max von Sydow's Father Merrin. And it's weird because in Exorcist 1 they aged him up. He was not that old at all.
That's what so I was wondering, I didn't know the year gap here.
Yeah.
So they didn't age him up in this one?
They didn't age him up in this one. So,
I mean, it looked solid.
So I was like wondering, like, did they know there was going to be Exorcist 2? Anyways, but like some of the like the more
well, I think the reason they aged him up in Exorcist 1 was because when he's in Iraq,
yeah.
he doesn't quite look as old.
Is that right?
He looks old. They might have aged him up a little bit, but I think they wanted to show a little bit of time.
A little bit of time passing.
So they made him go from old to pretty damn like his. I think it was more so showing his disease kind of.
Oh yeah, kind of
taking the
aging
toll.
him out.
Yeah.
And so this one, getting into the Father Merrin stuff, you get into the origin of the demon that possessed Reagan in the first movie, and they decide to give it a name.
Pazuzu. Oh, you have it.
and it's just it's fine. It's fine. Whatever. Give Palpatine a name. Whatever. He's the Emperor in Return of the Jedi. Name him Palpatine in Episode 1. Whatever. Yeah. But What a funny name to have characters repeat over and over and over again. There's a scene where Linda Blair, she's hypnotizing. She says, Pazuzu, Pazuzu, Pazuzu. And I was like, dude, that's fucking funny, dude.
Pazuki.
Pazuki.
Now, 2 for 1 at BJ's restaurant.
And on top of that...
All right, I'm done with the reverb. I'm sorry.
So on top of that, yeah, because Father Maron, he's been hunting Pazuzu for years, and it possesses, in the flashbacks, it possesses this child in Africa named Kokomu.
That's right. That was the other name.
Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I want... Yeah.
Take you down to the Exorcist.
To the heretic. Ooh. Okay, anyways. Dude, one of the scenes that really wigged me out was it was in the midst of a flashback where it showed this child being possessed, and then all of a sudden it like cuts and they're fucking climbing, they're rock climbing through that narrow.
See, okay, so that's when that's around the point where I was getting concerned for my mental health because I watched 1 and 2 back to back.
Yeah.
And like Dahmer's coming out right now.
Yeah.
So like it was a little bit of like 40 minutes into Exorcist 2, I was like, this might not be the best for me. And I think I remember like I started to like phase out, or when it got into the lore of not Pazuzu but Kokomo.
Yeah, Kokomo. Yeah.
But and like I remember just looking, I was like, why are we rock climbing?
Dude, I was like, that wigged me out so much. I was like, fuck, where are we now?
Yeah. Well, and then like the scene with the locust in the end.
Yeah.
Where I don't know why I'm blanking on the girl's name.
Reagan.
Wait, yeah, when Reagan's doing the arm spin thing.
Oh yeah, she's doing the Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Yeah, and it cuts to Kokomo doing it.
Yeah.
And
that was cheesy.
Yeah.
That was cheesy as hell.
But like, I mean, I was telling you about this earlier, but it really felt like Evil Dead was after this.
Yeah.
So it really felt like the same kind of trajectory that Evil Dead 2 took, where just everything's just up to the umpteenth level.
Yeah.
And I like that. I think.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. Yeah.
I would say Evil Dead 2 maybe, if we're just talking 1 to 2, did it better.
For sure.
Like
Most definitely.
Exorcist 1 is probably a better movie than both Evil Dead 1 and 2, in my opinion.
I would agree so. Yeah.
I might watch Evil Dead 1 more.
Uh-huh.
I think it has more rewatch value, just because it's ridiculous and dumb. It's like almost The Thing.
Yeah.
Like where it's just like, what's the next crazy thing? Like Exorcist 1 is like,
it's a very slow burn.
Yeah. It's the same way I feel about Ari Aster movies, and that's because Ari Aster loves that movie.
He fucking jerks off to that movie. I bet you anything.
God, it's really funny, like loving horror movies, and then you just think about the people who make horror movies, and you're like, it's kind of like how we don't want to talk to Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
yeah.
I don't know if I want to meet any of these people, man. Like, I love their stuff, but like, it's weird.
Yeah.
Like I go there because it's the funniest thing with like Barbarian and all of Jordan Peele's movies. Like going from comedy to horror, it makes sense. It's a very similar feeling to capture. But I mean, even those movies, like, they're different horror movies. They're more like monster movies or drama horrors.
Yeah.
In a way.
There's an air of prestige to them.
Yeah. I mean, we really need to get into some trauma. You know Trauma?
I've heard of that. Yeah.
It's
I don't really know much about
they're like
it.
the super low budget.
Yeah.
It's kind of
like do it yourself.
It's like Diet Grindhouse. It's like Grindhouse on a budget. Like kind of stuff. And one of the guys I listen to a lot, he works for Trauma. And it, like, hearing about all the films they do, it's like they just like rent out like abandoned schools in Minnesota, and they're like, oh, they let us film here, like, as long as we just clean up. Kind of thing.
That's
like no budget on anything they're doing.
I think James Gunn got his start from there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think he said he worked with James Gunn a couple times. Like, I was like, that's crazy.
That's
like,
pretty cool.
But yeah. I mean, I gave Exorcist 2, I think 3.5 stars.
I would. Exorcist 1. That's a 4. That's a 4. If I watch it again, maybe a 5-star movie.
I gave it 5 stars just because I was I
just
blew my socks off.
Yeah,
I was just like, Jesus Christ,
absolutely.
Man. Like,
and then Exorcist 2 for me. That's a even 3 stars.
Yeah.
the thing is, I can see why people shit on it. But I enjoyed it. Especially as a John Boorman. Like one day you gotta watch Excalibur. To see that guy just go full psychedelic. This one, like, I think he said as much on record, John Boorman, that he was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have went about it how I did.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess if we're to go back to the Evil Dead 1 and 2 comparison, Evil Dead 1 was wacky.
Yeah.
So going more wacky made sense.
Yeah.
And even if it didn't quite feel like, because Evil Dead is scary. That is just the most baffling thing about that movie. How there's parts where it's almost funny.
Yeah.
But it's at least kind of like you kind of tilt your head at it. But then 2 is like it's honestly hilarious.
It's a cartoon. Yeah.
But
by the third film, like, yeah,
I still need to see Evil Dead 3.
Our Army of Darkness is my favorite of those movies.
Wait, do you have it?
I have the bootleg version, and I have the theatrical.
I need to get that from you.
Yeah,
but yeah, so you had 3 stars.
Yeah, and we gotta mention the scene where Father Lamont. So there's a scene where Reagan gets all she like splits up. There's the good Reagan, the bad Reagan, and then Father Lamont, played by the horny Dick Burton. Yeah, he just hops on the bed with the evil Reagan.
Right,
and I just busted up because it was totally Scary Movie 2. James Woods hopping on the bed with.
I would say I have qualms about his character throughout the movie because he's the inquisitive to a fault guy, whereas like Exorcist 1 had Father Karras, the downtrodden, questioning his own faith guy that has a real good arc, and really Father in Exorcist 2,
Lamont,
Father Lamont, he's just a man on a mission. He's the guy riding his bike through the desert through the whole movie, but we're focusing on him.
Yeah.
And then the point where
there's sexual tension between him and Reagan throughout the movie.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
So when he hops on the bed with the evil Reagan, and then that's his arc right there.
Yeah, it's just like, and then, I mean, he just kind of survives it. Like,
okay, we need to mention, so the girl that's with Reagan, not the doctor, but the other girl that's kind of like, she was in the first movie. Yeah, and she comes back in this movie, and I don't know what the fuck they were trying to do with that character, because when Reagan and the father elope to go to the original house from the first movie, and the doctor and her, they're like, "Where's Reagan?" She says, like, she like turns to the camera and says, "Stupid bitch." And then
I remember that. I don't remember this character at all, but
and then do you remember when the doctor and her they're getting in the taxi cab and they're trying to get to the house and they crash and the cab driver dies and then she gets out of the car, she seems possessed,
and then she just burns in the
and
flames.
Then she just burns on fire, and it's like, what the fuck? What?
You know, it's funny. I was so half in, half out by that time. Like I came back too for the climax. I was like, is that the mom?
Yeah.
I was like, did the mom show up?
Oh my god!
No,
that was so
odd.
baffling to me. Yeah, and then the doctor, she's like consoling her while she's dying and stuff, and like, did she try to kill you? I don't know what the fuck they were going for.
You know, I just remembered the intro to Exorcist 2.
Oh yeah, what is it?
It's a Father Lamont. He opens a book to see Father Marin's, like, I think in memoriam kind of thing, and I think he's in Mexico, maybe.
Okay,
it might be like Mexico City, and like there's a lot of loud yelling going on. Like there's obviously something wrong, and there's this girl being restrained by a bunch of other people.
That's right, it's a possession.
And then, and then she just lights herself on fire.
That's right, yeah.
And I only remembered that because you said lights herself on fire, and then I remember
they juxtapose it, I think.
Do they?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
But I just remember the practical effects switch, which was kind of bad, of like from the body double to the like it just turns into a completely charred body, like a dummy, like instantly almost. It's just like,
and then I think
like, all right.
I think later in the movie they go back to it, and it's before she's lit on fire, she's on fire, and her head, she's like, He's like, why is this happening to me or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
3 stars.
3 stars.
3
Yeah,
stars.
no, it's well worth a watch. Exorcist 3 we need to watch, and there's a couple more after that, and then Blumhouse they're gonna be Halloweening the Exorcist franchise soon, and the mother Ellen Burstyn from the original, she's gonna be returning for this new sequel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't ask Linda Blair back, who played Reagan. I'm assuming that she's gonna be dead in between or something. Or yeah. But so Exorcist 1 and 2.
Or maybe they're trying to hold the cards.
Maybe
hold the cards close for a reveal.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go.
She'll probably be the what's the MacGuffin? What's the phrase for that? The thing that comes in and just finishes the plot.
Oh, the Deus Ex Machina.
Deus Ex Machina. That
she's
thing.
she's gonna have the Phoenix in her or whatever.
Yeah, the Phoenix.
So yeah. Exorcist 1, total masterpiece.
Exorcist 2, a mess, a beautiful mess.
A masterpiece, yeah.
A masterpiece.
Yeah. Oh wait, before we move on, we gotta mention. Do you remember the POV shot in Exorcist 2 of the locust flying above everyone, and everyone's like, ah?
I think I do.
So was that locust supposed to be like huge, or was it just a tiny locust?
I think it was just a tiny locust.
I think so too. Yeah, some weird special effects, but they're pretty striking. I think.
They were having fun with it.
They're having fun with it. Yeah, they were trying some weird shit out.
Yeah. But I want to get into Blair Witch real quick, just because you brought up the Deliverance. And
yeah.
And there's a line where they're starting to go crazy, and the guy Josh goes, have you seen Deliverance? Like,
there we go. We tied it all together.
Things go bad, man. But yeah, wait, when's the last time you saw Blair Witch? It was been a while.
The last time I actually watched Blair Witch, I think I was in 7th grade, and that Cloverfield was like a big craze at the time.
Yeah.
And me and a buddy, we were at Blockbuster and we rented it, and I had seen it when it hit home video in like 99, 2000, and I distinctly remember watching it in the living room and just like not knowing that this was not a real movie, and just that shit just sticks with you,
Yeah.
And then when I watched it in middle school or junior high, like it fucking hit. We had the lights off and everything, and but I mean, looking back at it now, I you're gonna get into it, but like it's not really anything I'm interested in watching again.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Let's see if I can convince you.
Okay. Wait,
did you ever see the 2016 one?
No, I haven't seen any of the sequels.
Maybe I would like to watch that one after watching this.
I want to watch Blair Witch 2 after.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot.
Well,
dude, it didn't even show up on Letterboxd for me when I looked up that. It just came up the 2016 one.
Yeah, that one's hilarious because the premise is that Blair Witch is an actual movie, and these college kids, they come to the town where
it's like what's it called? A Human Centipede?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's one of those, yeah.
But okay, so
that actually has an Exorcist 2-esque reputation. Go ahead.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we everything there, like all the general points of Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
But the thing I really took away watching it was it might be one of the best found footage films.
Yeah.
That I think
one of the earliest.
Yeah, it was one of the earliest. And taking, I mean, I knew, I didn't see it when it came out, so I know it's a movie.
Yeah.
It's not found footage.
Mm-hmm.
So even with knowing that, I was watching and I was like, I see why people thought that.
Yeah.
I definitely see why people thought that this could be a real thing. And the characters in it, it's so subtle. There are definitely points when you know what's going on, like, oh, that's a little bit of a
that's very movie-esque.
That's a character beat that they had to hit.
Yeah.
Might have been improv, but they said, oh no, you have to make sure the audience knows blah.
Yeah.
But I loved all the characters because they all gave you a reason to hate every single one. It didn't really bother to kind of redeem them.
Yeah. Nope.
It like the only character that it redeems, really, not even the main woman.
Yeah.
There's Josh, and then there's the other two people.
Heather,
and then the Mike.
Yeah,
Mike. So
Mike.
Mike's the guy that from the start you're kind of like, ugh, you're kind of like a a lame-o.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of annoying. And that's not their friend. Heather's friends with Josh, and Josh has the camera equipment, and Mike's just a dude that carries stuff.
Yeah.
And he's kind of a downer from the start. He's the first guy that you're like, ugh, like it's annoying. But throughout the thing, you kind of start to get annoyed with Heather's obsession with making this documentary and how it's such
Will you tell us about the Blair Witch?
Yeah, it's such a farce.
Yeah.
Like it really gives you douche chills if you've ever tried to make a video yourself. You're like, I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there. But by the end, like Mike's character arc kind of hits a peak when they're lost, and he kicks he says he kicked the map into the creek, and he's like laughing maniacally, and they're just super pissed at him. And Josh is funny because he's pretty chill until a moment. Like he's pretty chill. He starts freaking out, and then he's the one that's kind of attacked by the Blair Witch first, because I think he desecrated one of the stone piles.
That's right. Yeah.
So his shit gets messed with. And that kind of breaks something in him, and he starts getting really like real worked up a lot, and you didn't expect that out of him, because he's kind of like the stoner, like drunk dude, and he's kind of like whatever, man, like but all of a sudden he flips, and then Mike has to become the voice of reason, which is like it was such an interesting just flip immediately. Like Heather's consistently, she is the driving force of the whole thing, and the way it deals with the why are you recording moment, which is in every fucking every found footage. The way it kind of like it goes from like, why are we recording, to at the end like Mike and Heather are so scared but they're lost, so what else are you gonna do? Like we're just sitting here with our dick in our hands trying not to die, and we don't know where Josh is. Like it's also weird just hearing the whole third act is people just yelling Josh, Josh. I'm like, this is odd. I don't want to feel seen in this moment. but yeah, no, like the character beats really kept me in it. I thought I was gonna get like there's parts that kind of grate on you, and they're kind of supposed to. You're supposed to get annoyed by these characters, but there's a moment where Mike turns the camera on Heather. Oh no, it's Josh. Josh is starting to go crazy, and he's interviewing her like sarcastically and being real mean to her, and it's like, why are you even doing this? And she just bursts out like, 'cause it's all I have, and it was just like, oh man, like that's about as scary as that interstitial cut. Like the face she makes, like that is great acting right there. And the only thing, it really annoys me that there's no real reveal the whole time. It's just like that is where it falls short for me. My only thing that I was like kind of confused about was when it's like pitch black in the movie. You can't see anything. It's just like you're looking into darkness. There's like it's showing like the shittiness of the camera, and like you can kind of see the bulbs or whatever. I don't know how those cameras worked, but like there's little silhouette things going on. Like, you know how when you close your eyes and you see like the bacteria in your eyes, so you see shapes. Floaters, there's that in the pitch black scenes, and I swear, dude, there are points where they put like suggestive, cryptic looking like people figures doing weird stuff, or like, so it looks like someone's hitting something, but it's that kind of like odd thing. I don't know if this is just HBO Max showing me a shitty video, like shitty camcorder quality, and I'm just making this up in my brain, but I do want you to watch just to see if you see that as well, because that was kind of the thing. I was like, oh man, like it makes you, every time it's pitch black, you're like, they're gonna show something, and then they don't. They don't. That's that's the biggest thing. But go for the reveal, get disappointed, but you stay for the characters.
Well, I gotta tell you, just you talking about it's been making me think about just that final moment, that final set piece, if you will, where they walk into the witch's house.
Yeah, why'd they do that?
Because they heard somebody without a tongue yelling, right?
That's his fault. At this point, it's his fault.
well, just thinking about that right now has been giving me chills. Like the aforementioned Pazuzu face from Exorcist 1 that just gives me the creeps if I think about it. Like seeing seeing the guy standing in the corner.
Yeah,
Like,
I
yeah,
mean
just
that is a
thinking about
striking
that.
image.
Yeah.
Like, ugh,
Yeah.
like, you know something went wrong. There was a little bit of a, I don't know if it was a continuity error
Mm-hmm.
or what, but they have a black and white camera and then a color, a less quality color camera,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think there is a continuity error with who's holding what camera.
Okay.
Cause yeah, I'll have to rewatch it with you sometime,
Uh-huh.
but because it sounds like Mike's holding the camera, and it sounds like Mike's right next to the microphone yelling,
Mm-hmm.
but then it follows that camera downstairs to see Mike in the corner, and I'm like, wait, like it's something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, like I'll have to go back through it, but yeah, the apparently in the house, the little Easter egg there is, the map's in there apparently. Yeah, little heebie-jeebies right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it is a good found footage movie. Like my issue with like the Paranormal Activity movie,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even gonna talk about the sequels because whatever. About
Yeah,
the
I've only
sequels.
seen one, so.
One is good.
Mhm.
It is.
I
a good
remember,
movie.
yeah, watching one and yeah, similar. Yeah, I watched it on a bootleg. Too,
Yeah.
So it really felt like a stuff film.
That is really funny when you when you bootleg a found footage
Yeah.
film. But yeah, like the only thing I have with Paranormal Activity is like, why is so many cameras? Like, you all just stocked up like I get like when things start happening, like, oh, he puts a camera in there but it was already there.
Yeah.
He was already filming stuff. And I was like, why are you filming yourself sleeping? You don't need a security camera in there. But like,
And the guy in that movie's name was Mika.
That's right. That is
Mika.
That is the worst part of that
Mika,
movie.
Mika. Oh, God.
Mikachu. But yeah, I mean, like that was just a good one I threw on for the 'tis the season.
Yeah, yeah.
But I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah. No, you sold me on it. You sold me on it, kid.
I think we would enjoy shitting on how 90s all these characters are.
Uh-huh.
Like there's some parts that are so 90s that I didn't know if it was like, oh, is this cheesy or did I just not grow up enough in the 90s? Like
I think probably the latter.
They said something like not sick, but they said something like, oh, that's sick. It was a different word, and I was like, what?
That's mint.
Something like that. Yeah, I was like, what? That is terrible. But yeah, I mean, 4 stars for me. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
have to rewatch it.
But you want to talk about Ben Affleck's The Town?
Oh man.
Is it The Town?
It's The Town.
The Town.
So
this is 2010.
2010 is The Town. Yeah. So I don't know why I threw it on. You know what it was? Yeah. One of my coworkers, he had asked me, he's like, "Have you seen The Town with Ben Affleck?" And I was like, "I seen parts, but not really, you know."
Mm-hmm.
And the way he described it to me, it was like, "Oh, okay, Ben Affleck, you're the badass bank robber. You get the girl, you get the money." And that's basically the movie, dude. Like
Really?
from the very beginning. Well, first of all, okay, I've never seen a more derivative movie in my life, I think, because it opens. We're only 2 years away from The Dark Knight and how that amazing heist in the beginning, you know, they're all wearing the clown masks.
Yeah.
Well, this one, it starts off and yeah, it's the same sequence, you know.
Really?
It's the same. They're wearing Halloween masks and, you know, they introduce.
So you're saying Christopher Nolan is a hack?
No, I'm
and
saying
he stole from The Town?
no.
No, I get you. I'm there with you. He's derivative. David O. Russell should have put him in a headlock.
No, I'm saying
actually happened around that time too.
Let's make this abundantly clear. I love Ben Affleck as an actor. I think he's a great Batman. He's my favorite Batman. As a filmmaker, though, I'm just completely unimpressed.
Yeah.
And yeah, from the very beginning, you know, Ben Affleck's character that he plays, he's this bank robber with a heart of gold. This woman, she's the bank
trying
manager.
to make an honest living here.
The woman who's he's trying to have open the vault, who he eventually fucks and has a relationship with. She's trying to turn the dial to open up the safe, and he grabs her hand. He's like, "Take a breath, calm down." What a good guy, you know. And Jeremy Renner's the right hand man, and he's unhinged, you know. He's the crazy guy, which I don't.
Jeremy Pesci.
Which
you just gotta live with that, bud.
so the thing is that obviously Ben Affleck loves the movie Heat, and so he decided to make his version of it. So this is the Boston Heat, more like Heat and The Departed. Plus,
that's my favorite basketball team.
the Boston Heat. And you could tell this is very Departed. Like, The Departed's hot right now, you know. And
sorry, Ethan just ripped his mic out of off the table.
Sorry, hackery does this to me. But anyways, so yeah, they heist, and then this woman that they take hostage, played by Rebecca Hall from Iron Man 3. She's that wonderful character in Iron Man 3 that is bad, whatever. Anyways, so Jeremy Renner wants to kill her. Yeah, he's got her ID, and he's like, I'm gonna find it, I'm gonna kill her, you know. And then Ben Affleck's like, no, I'm just gonna watch her, you know, see if she knows anything. And so they end up having a relationship, Ben Affleck and this girl, and she doesn't know that he's the bank robber. And also on his tail is John Hamm, is the FBI guy, I guess. And it's just I don't know, Ben Affleck, he's trying to do a thing, and it's just not working. He's trying to be this broody, stoic dude where even the sex doesn't feel good for him. He gets fucked in the beginning by Blake Lively, who's his baby mama, and she's riding him with her clothes on. And then when she gets off of him, he's just like, he's just stone faced. And then later when he's having sex with the Rebecca Hall character, it flashes back to the bank robbery. And her PTSD from it. And when he's thrusting into her, dude, like, he's got the tattoos, he got the prison tats on his back.
God.
Like, dude, this is such a fucking vanity project.
Yeah.
And man, what am I trying to get to here?
You're just going on. You know, I had a thought. If Jeremy Renner wasn't in this movie, this whole movie could be our segment of Hollywood hunks. Maybe I'm alone here.
What are you talking about? In 2010, the dude was hot.
Was he?
Yeah, 2010.
Was he still 5'1"?
He was still 5'1" then, yeah. He was coming off The Hurt Locker, though, Oscar nominated.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was nominated Best Supporting Actor for this. Yeah.
I remember, I do remember this movie coming out, and it just feeling nothing on the trailer.
Yeah, no, just completely apathetic to it, and there's like 3 heist sequences. The second one's funny because they're wearing nun costumes, and all
Isn't
of a
that
sudden,
a Boondock Saints thing?
You know what? Fuck that movie. Yeah, I seen 20 minutes of that movie, and that's definitely worse than this. Yeah, they're driving around in these nun costumes, and it's like a high-speed pursuit. All of a sudden, it's the French Connection, and I'm like, you know, I don't buy this that they're driving high speed and they have these Halloween masks on where you there's no way you have no peripheral vision. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And then the whole movie ends with there's the big Heat heist where everything goes wrong. So the crew is Ben Affleck, Jeremy Renner, and 2 other guys. So who do you think dies first?
I wonder. Jeremy Pesci.
Jeremy Pesci. At the climactic heist, they rob Fenway Park. And everything goes wrong. Jeremy Renner and Ben, they split up after the 2 other guys get killed.
Do they bury what's his face there? Oh my gosh, Irishman.
Hoffa?
Is that where they buried Hoffa? The one of the legends is Fenway Park.
It's some. No, I think it might be in the Midwest somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where he was last
Sorry,
seen.
continue on this shit.
Anyways, so yeah, Jeremy Renner, they're chasing Jeremy Renner. He gets in a shootout. And it's funny, they're wearing their disguise in this one is they're dressed as first responders. They have the paramedic outfits, and then they have the cop outfits.
Yeah.
And Ben Affleck gets to witness all Jeremy Renner's final stand. He gets to witness it,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just standing there. Every cop in Boston has.
Wait. Does he do the grit your teeth and hold two guns and then he dies?
No. He gets mortally wounded, and he's laying down behind a newspaper stand or something.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody dropped a fountain drink.
Uh-huh.
And this is kind of a funny moment. Yeah, he picks it up and like he knows he's gonna die, so he's sipping on this drink that he just found on the ground before he gets taken out. But
wait, did Ben Affleck write this too?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay. He's probably had a hand in the script.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Ben Affleck gets to witness this all. Boston PD, every cop here that has their gun drawn on Jeremy Renner. Ben Affleck's just standing in the middle of it like a doofus, and not a single person. It's clear that they're wearing cop outfits. Yeah. Not a single person sees Ben Affleck like, hey, I don't recognize you.
It's like a onesie. It's like a onesie cop outfit.
But
Boston PD. I didn't want to reference the video.
Oh my god, that Boston PD video. It's like, can I break the cycle? You know? Yeah, I was thinking about that the whole time, dude.
I break the cycle of my father's traumas that he started with me.
Okay, there's a scene where Ben Affleck goes to visit his father in prison.
Oh my
God. And again, it's a scene out of a Michael Mann movie. It's a scene from Michael Mann's debut movie Thief, where James Caan, he goes to visit Willie Nelson, who is like his mentor. It's the same fucking scene, dude.
Oh my god.
And but just to wrap it up really quick, it ends Ben Affleck, he gets away, he buries the money, he leaves it with the girl. And yeah, it basically, it's a Good Will Hunting end where I gotta see about a girl.
That's why I asked about the Ben Affleck writing.
If he wrote it. Well, oh man. So there's two other movies I've seen of his that I liked. I actually watched his debut movie, Gone Baby Gone, which he does not star in. His brother stars in. Mm-hmm. That one was pretty good. And Argo's fine.
But, I didn't know he wrote that.
He did Argo. Yeah. But yeah, The Town, and Live by Night, just total fucking vanity projects where he has these women they're just all over him. They just want to fuck him. Yeah. And he doesn't know how to direct himself. Because he just plays these boring, stoic.
I don't think anyone can really direct themselves outside of a comedy.
Probably not.
Like what do you do? What happens when even the best directors direct themselves? They just say the N-word all the time. Why is that a thing? Someone brought that up to me. I'm like, yeah, why is Martin Scorsese and Quentin Tarantino? I'm not gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole for why he does that, but he does it.
But Scorsese in Taxi Driver,
yeah, dude. Like every time you rewatch that movie and that scene happens, you're like, oh, Martin Scorsese. Oh my god. What is he saying?
And he was on massive coke at that time.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. But to wrap that up, The Town. You know, I was like hating it while watching it, but it's competently made. Oh, one hilarious thing is there's like an establishing shot for every 2 minutes. So it's like a helicopter shot showing, and then it shows the characters in a room, and I'm like, where the fuck are we now? I don't know. But so watching that's like a 2-star movie.
2-star.
I couldn't give it 1 star. It's just too competent.
Yeah.
But it caused me to.
It's not completely disjointed as a movie. It's a movie.
It's a movie. Yeah. You could follow from A to B.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of dudes of our generation love that movie. Yeah. And more power to you. Watch Heat. It's better. Or what it caused me to do also on Netflix, caused me to watch Den of Thieves from 2018. And that's the junk food version of Heat that I was craving. Mm-hmm. It takes place in L.A. Mm-hmm. It's about a crew of bank robbers, and it's about they're led by Pablo Schreiber, who I loved in 13 Hours, among other things. 50 Cent, Baby Ice Cube's in there.
The crew. When did it come out?
2018.
Oh dang! So a late 50 Cent. That wasn't his heyday.
Yeah. This is a late 50 Cent. And I think it really well it juxtaposes so you got the bad guys, you got the robbers,
Mhm.
but then you got the cops who are just as bad, maybe even worse. They're led by Gerard Butler, and
Mhm.
these cops, they're fucking dirty. Like
Yeah.
they follow these crews around because they want to get in on it, and they want to heist the bad guys.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that was a
That's pretty
really
sweet.
interesting twist on it. And among that, like, not to get too into it, but the action's great. The setting, it's not like downtown LA mostly. It's like the outskirts of LA, like
Ooh.
Torrance,
Oh dang.
fucking Carson.
See, that's the funny thing about like LA movies. They're always downtown.
Yeah, they're always downtown.
And
typically.
I mean I've been to downtown LA, but
Mhm.
like if you want me to recognize a street, unless it's like Fairfax
Yeah.
or the one by like the Comedy Store,
Yeah.
like Melrose,
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
like, dude, like for like, I mean, just in proximity to where we live, don't dox us. 13 people who probably already know where we live. Thank you for listening.
If you want to kill us, you know where to find us.
But like, yeah, like seeing Torrance, like I know what Torrance looks like.
Yeah.
So like that is cool. Like you don't see those other
You
areas
don't ever
get
see
their
those
respect.
places. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
and there is like a life there.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
just
It's got
because
its
it's
own
not
vibe.
a giant skyscraper doesn't mean it doesn't deserve that LA nostalgia.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
that's what like a majority of the people like live. Like
Mhm.
no, like people worked in downtown.
Yeah.
Not as many people live in downtown.
Yeah.
Kind of
yeah.
thing. But yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. And yeah, like Gerard Butler, like I'm pretty cold on Gerard Butler outside of 300, but like
Mhm.
I watched this and it was like seeing him with fresh new eyes. Like he's
Yeah.
this despicable drunk cop,
Mhm.
and they introduce his relationship with his family by he comes home at like 6 a.m.
Mhm.
after a night of boozing and smoking cigarettes,
Yeah.
and his wife's like, "Where you been all night?" He's like, "Oh, I was just working on." And then she pulls up her phone and she says, "Oh yeah, you texted me this." And the text says something like, "Oh, that was so hot what you did earlier." So yeah, this guy's such a piece of shit. He's
Yeah.
drunk and he texts his wife when he should be texting his hoe.
Yeah.
And then she literally takes the kids to the car that moment.
Mhm.
And like he's trying to console his kids. And like just you could just tell he smells like booze.
Yeah.
And like he's talking into the kid and like it's
Real
just-
Aries, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna.
And then yeah, the way that it did everything that I wanted the town that I thought I wanted the town to do.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it fucking throws a Kaiser Soze twist on you at the
Oh wait,
end.
I
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah, let's-
You've sold me on this movie, so I do want to watch it.
Yeah, it's so yeah.
Get-
Den of Thieves, 4 stars.
4 stars. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I do want to get into another vanity project.
Uh-huh.
Don't worry, darling.
Oh boy. Yeah. let's get into this
mean,
one.
I don't really want to get into all the. I just want to talk about the movie.
You already know.
Everybody
you already
knows
know.
the spitting.
Yeah, Spitgate.
Yeah, divorces. You know.
Yeah.
And
Shia.
Shia. That's right. Shia. I don't think everybody knows about the Shia.
This movie was so problematic that Shia walked.
that is really funny. But like I mean, I wonder if it would have been a good movie if Shia was there, because I feel like
You needed a good actor.
well, you needed a good actor, but also I wonder like taking all the drama into context and then seeing how Harry Styles is literally just a meat stick for Florence Pugh to get her rocks off on. Like the first 30 minutes, like they're okay. So the plot of the movie is it's a little bit of a Truman Show kind of thing. They're in this little bit of a cult with forgetting the guy. Chris Pine is the leader.
The guy that got spit on.
Yeah, the guy that got spit on, Chris Pine. He's the leader of it. You don't have any context for what they're doing. They're just in the middle of a desert, and they're working towards something important, something really important, and you don't know what's going on. You just know it's really in the perspective of Florence Pugh and all the wives, and so they're kind of like it shows their kind of like or Florence Pugh's unrest, and she sees another character kind of going through the mental issues. She starts seeing visions, weird images of like black and white people, like, or not like in black and white people like dancing. Like you don't really understand what's going on. This is like the first 40 minutes, and then there's a reveal in the middle where it shows that they're pretty much in virtual reality, and essentially, um, Harry Styles' character is really downtrodden. Florence Pugh was a nurse in the real world, and he starts listening to this dude's podcast. And it's Jordan Peterson.
Okay.
She's listening to Jordan Peterson's podcast, and he gets recruited by Jordan Peterson, Chris Pine, and they go in, like, he pretty much kidnaps his wife and like ties her down and puts her in this virtual reality thing. They got these little eye scanner things.
Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, very very Clockwork Orange. And it's just scanning their eyes. And so all the images, all the like visions she's seeing are the hypnosis, I guess you could call it, of getting her into the simulation. And the whole first 40 minutes of the movie is very like art housey Truman Show of her kind of like trying to figure out the puzzle, not nearly getting it as much as the Truman Show got it. It's so ambiguous, which is, I would say, the most respectful critique I could give to it that's not crude or mean is it either told me too much or it didn't tell me enough. It didn't tell me enough in the beginning, and then it just vomits all this context onto you with the twist. And they tried to make Harry Styles look like an incel, which is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Okay.
It looks ridiculous, dude. It looks terrible. But so, yeah, with the thing with Harry Styles, beautiful man. I saw him in concert.
Yeah. I'm gonna see him in concert at the end of the month.
You're gonna enjoy it. Yeah. He's a good performer.
Yeah. I like his songs.
I don't know if I've already repeated this, but when I saw him at Coachella, he did this little shimmy move, and like it got a pop from the crowd after people are already cheering, but doing that shimmy move made a second pop. And he noticed it to the point where he did the shimmy move again, and then it was an even bigger pop. I was like, dude, you cannot be that sexy. You can.
He could have probably gotten away with a third time.
Oh yeah, dude. He like, I would almost think it was like, oh, is this choreographed? Like, is he about to break into a different dance? Like, no, that was just a sexy thing he did. But his acting is mediocre. Just to put it out flatly. In the first 30 minutes, it seems like they're trying to get around it. Like, or at least in the first parts, to the point where like the first 2 times he comes back from work, which I can only assume since they're in a simulation, is him trolling people on the internet. If we're doing a Jordan Peterson thing, I don't know, like just like going off that thing, they go out of the simulation when they go to work, and they live out their lives. But the first 3 times he comes home, it's literally just Florence Pugh cannot keep her hands off of him. He doesn't say more than like 3 lines. It's like, it's Florence Pugh acting well. Let's have sex with Harry Styles. Acting well. More sex with Harry Styles. And I mean, like, it's a beautiful movie. It is a great looking movie. Like, it's so interesting to see something, so many things look amazing, and so many good things are happening that exude a good film, while at the same time, by the end, there's too many terrible things. There's too many things that are just either plot holes, or you didn't explain it enough, or you're like, if it went more ambiguous, it would almost need to be like not Lars von Trier, Aronofsky. Lynch. Like, it could almost be like a Lynch movie if it got more ambiguous. Like, that first 40 minutes, you're kind of like, you're uneasy. You're kind of like, something's wrong, but you're along with the ride, just like Truman Show. But man, like, once it gets down to it, the emotional beats of Florence Pugh trying to like talk Harry Styles through this, because Harry Styles knows, all the guys know in this simulation, because they're the ones that kidnapped their wives to be in this. And like, there's just moments where Florence Pugh is putting on a freaking like masterclass of acting to a cardboard cutout that is Harry Styles. It's so heartbreaking, man. Like,
can you explain the scene where he tries to cry and then he gets angry?
Yeah, so like, he pretty much, like, Florence Pugh convinces Harry Styles like we're gonna go, we're gonna get out of here. And I don't think the twist is quite revealed yet.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, it's not revealed yet. But she's like, okay, but we know there's like these dudes in orange jumpsuits, kind of like policing, ominously. Florence Pugh knows about this and all that stuff. But he goes, okay, we'll go. And then they get into the car, and then he just starts like he just kind of pauses, he just freezes, and then he starts kind of like making the crying face, and then the dudes in the orange jumpsuits come into frame, and she's screaming, and he's literally like he's making like the most painful cry face, like
a Charlie Sheen crying face.
yeah, dude, like really trying, like the chin ripple, all that stuff, but
no tears,
no actual cry. Like he can't quite do the like the guttural sound of it quite well, and it turns into like rage, and he starts punching the wheel. And I mean, like, that's a good thing. That's a good way to cover it up, but it's so obvious. It's so obvious that he's just pissed that he can't cry. It's just really upsetting that he can't cry. And, like, your frustrations that he can't cry are shown by him. And you're like, oh, man. To the point where most of the theater I was watching it with kind of laughed.
Oh,
like everyone, like a lot of people kind of like you heard a couple like scoffs. And I was like, oh dude, man.
Oh man. Because
yeah,
they're all there for him.
Yeah.
Or the controversy.
Well, I saw a bunch of, like, it was a lot of couples. It was a lot of couples in this theater. I was like, there was a guy in front of me who was definitely not in, like, I was ready for the movie. I was doing my best to like go into it and be like, fuck all the drama.
Yeah.
I want to see if this is a good movie.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to shit on a movie with that kind of controversy.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not good, if it's not amazing, I think it would have gotten it to like 1 to 2 star ratings either way. If it was, I think 30% better, same result. It had to be an amazing movie to overcome all that, I think.
Yeah.
And it's just, I would love to see Harry Styles do good at acting. He needs some classes, or he could just keep selling out arenas. I think he should just do that and let
do one or the other,
and let Austin Butler take all of his roles.
Well, but we could thank Christopher Nolan for Harry Styles being in this movie.
Wait, why? Oh yeah, Dunkirk.
He stunt-casted him in Dunkirk.
Yeah, I mean, all right. It could be Marvel's fault too, for re-upping, which I don't. Honestly, after this movie, I could see them kind of backstepping.
Yeah, they'll get Austin Butler to play Thanos' brother.
I hope Austin Butler doesn't do that, but he might.
I hope not either.
But jinx him. Yeah, 2 stars.
2 stars.
It's a great looking movie. It's got some interesting concepts it juggles, but at the end of the day, it was weird. Oh, another plot, like I don't know if it's a plot hole, but it just confuses and muddles everything. Is out of nowhere they established that the women can't die in the simulation, but the men can.
Okay.
So there's, in the beginning, the woman that's kind of going through that kind of opens Florence Pugh's eyes because she's kind of like uneasy about it. She's on the roof and she slits her throat. And I was just like, oh, so did she live? She just got out of the simulation and she's fine now. It kind of like delegitimized that whole scene. I guess that's kind of a victory for her. Like, good job. You killed yourself. Like, it's such an odd thing. But yeah, like, I don't why they have the same eye scanners. Why do they die? Like, why do the guys die? It makes no sense. It's like, they could have just not said that, and it might have been a 2.5 star movie for me. Like it just muddied up everything. But Chris Pine does really well. Chris Pine
Chris Pine's great.
He delivers.
Yeah, he's always great.
They do the kind of the Wolf of Wall Street party scene to an extent, and it's really interesting because it's when pretty much Harry Styles is becoming a made man in the group. He gets like a ring and everything, and he's getting promoted essentially, and it's so odd because Chris Pine's got the energy and everything, and Harry Styles just comes up and he's like really sheepish, and it's like, dude, do you not like? This is supposed to be a big deal for you. And if they were supposed to be like, well, he doesn't know about Chris Pine, he doesn't know if he's a great leader, they don't get into that for why Harry Styles might be not having the best day of his life. Like it's supposed to be the best day of his life for like from what the movie has been telling me throughout. This is like 40 minutes in. It's like, good job, dude. You're in this weird cult and you're doing well. But he's like kind of like, okay.
Oh,
They make him dance.
maybe that's why he spat on him. He's like, you acted better than me.
Everybody acted better than me. Even Olivia Wilde when she was making that speech and she got her divorce papers. All right, that's as far as I'll go. We don't have to do more on but yeah, 2.5 stars I think I gave it.
Okay.
I respect the attempt, but it fell short in a lot of ways, sadly.
So yeah, that'll probably be nominated for Best Picture.
It'll get nominated for something for sure. If Florence Pugh got a lead nomination, I would probably, she might be in the top, because I mean, I don't know, did it get critically bashed by reviewers too? I think it did. But I mean,
just for posterity, let's see where it's at.
I mean, I'm trying to think of like other movies that were like bad in this sense that still has got that Oscar zhuzh.
39%.
39, yeah. It could still get it. I mean, she could still get a nomination. Who else has really, really killed it this year with a lead actor or actress? I don't. Yeah.
I don't watch those movies.
I'm not an encyclopedia right now, but
I'll catch up on them in a few years, just like The Town.
But yeah, 2.5 stars. You don't need to watch it. I mean, if it's streaming somewhere,
it'll be on HBO Max, I guarantee you.
Yeah, I'll force you to watch
months.
it sometime, and then we can really talk about it off mic. But yeah, I mean, do you want to get into Hollywood hunks? Or do you want to get into Avatar 3D?
I have energy for Avatar 3D.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get into some Hollywood hunks.
Okay.
And it's probably gonna die a very quick death. But
Hey.
we're gonna talk about a Hollywood hunk.
We're gonna try it. We're gonna go for it.
So I mean, did we get a release date for Avatar 2?
Avatar 2, December, I think.
23.
No, December of this year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in fact, they added a post-credit scene to this. So Avatar 3D, it's a 4K restoration of the James Cameron movie that.
I don't think we need much context.
We
for
don't need
Avatar.
much context because people don't talk about it. People don't like it apparently. If you
Yeah.
go on film Twitter and whatnot. But yeah, no, I mean I've always liked the movie. I got a little cold off of it sometime after its release. Just you buy into the hype a little. That maybe it's not as good as whatever.
It sours a little.
Yeah,
bit, yeah.
but I remember before the pandemic, I got the extended cut and I watched it and I was like, no, this movie's fucking great. It's still great. But then yeah. So now we have this 4K restoration. I went to go see it at the local Limax. And I had no idea that it was in 3D because when I purchased the ticket, it just said IMAX. So when they were like, "Oh, here are your 3D glasses," I was like, "Oh shit, we're really getting into it here." And dude, just immediately, I think they fucked with the frame rate a little. Because like the actors, like the actual actors, when they're moving like towards you in the frame, it seemed like a little like pop-up storybook-esque.
Oh.
And it just really like I think my pupils like grew while watching this, dude. And yeah, it's the best 3D I've seen since the last few Transformers movies. It's just the frame density is so incredible, so fucking incredible. It actually gave me a headache. But it was like one of those headaches where it was like it's just like, oh, we're going all night.
I'm not I'm not looking away.
Yeah. And I mean, what can you really say about it without sounding like Joe Rogan bloviating over Avatar?
Yeah, Joe Rogan and everybody else has the same take on it, on why it's amazing. I will say people just hate on it because I think it's the zeitgeist. It became the joke.
It became the zeitgeist, and I think because the story is so simplistic.
Yeah. It's a long movie and it's very simple.
Yeah.
It's really not. It's about the story.
Yeah.
But the story is kind of just a conduit for
for the
all this
tech.
cool shit.
Yeah,
like all
dude.
this cool stuff you're about to see. And I respect that. My like all the only reason people are hating on it, I think, is because the joke they started with the joke of like the second one's never gonna come out.
Yeah, yeah.
And now that the second one's gonna come out, everyone's like, well, we had so much fun shitting on it, making those jokes. So we're gonna keep making
yeah,
jokes.
yeah. We gotta double down on it.
We're gonna act like this is an actual bad movie.
Yeah.
Where honestly, I think the only pitfall I remember from this movie, I need to rewatch it for the second one, but the lead, I forget what's his name.
Sam Worthington.
Sam Worthington. He was kind of.
It's kind of a blank slate.
I think it was trying to do the Goodfellas thing of that kind of style of
just have a POV character
in the same way that it's a simple character.
Yeah.
It's a simple plot. It's a simple character to just give you some eyes into this world. And is he in this in the second one?
Yeah.
Too? Is he ever a human in this one? Do you know?
In the second one?
No, is it at the end where he's like you have to be
at the end of Avatar? He permanently links into his avatar body. Yeah,
okay, that's good because like I mean as far as his when he becomes the avatar, it's passable. I'm not as bored with his character when he's that. Just seeing his discovery and everything, I'm interested to see him outside of the story arc of getting comfortable with your avatar.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what that kind of character arc is going to be now. Because I do worry about that a little bit just based off what I saw from him as a human and in the first one. But honestly, I mean, like, good villain, like serviceable villain.
Yeah, Stephen Lang is the evil colonel, man. Yeah, and he's fucking Jack too.
He's pretty much that small soldier, like personified.
Oh my god, yeah, Major Chip Hazard. Yeah. Yeah, to dial back a little bit on Sam Worthington, when I watched the extended cut, they have like a little bit of an extra intro where it shows him on Earth and he's at like a bar and there's like some guy, sexually harassing a woman and he's like it shows like what kind of person he is from that. Like he's in a wheelchair, but he'll attack this dude who's sexually harassing this girl at a bar.
That's sweet.
And I thought when I watched the extended cut, like it really like kind of clued me in onto the character rather than just coldly just introducing him waking up.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me just get into just some of the stuff that really got my juices flowing while watching it. Immediately, when you see him wake up in the cryotube and the little particles of moisture floating, that shit was incredible. But then when it opens up and then he's floating out and then you can just see how fucking long this room is. It looks like it has to be like 100 yards long. And like immediately it's and then when he first does the link up with the avatar body and he books it out to the forest, and like the second that he's like he puts his feet into the dirt. And he's just like kind of like like I swear to you, dude, like I did like a little like I could smell the forest just by looking at it. And
I do remember that like in the theater seeing it, like you felt and
you could feel
like
that shit.
It was 4D. Like it was such an immersive experience that it does have that effect of like you smell the fresh grass kind of thing. Like, like seeing the wide scapes like landscapes of the world.
Oh my god, dude. And when it gets into action mode, like that climax, the scale of everything, it's just so insane.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of so a lot of people shit on the climax of Return of the Jedi because it's the Ewoks, they don't seem like a formidable force to fight off the stormtroopers.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, oh man, this is the climax of Return of the Jedi. For people that bitched about that, because like the Na'vi, that's when you finally get to see the Na'vi and the humans and like just how much bigger they are.
You get to see the real comparison.
You get to see the real scale.
Yeah.
And like, dude, it was just unbelievable seeing it. And I had a splitting headache while watching it, but like it was just I was just addicted to it. Just watching it. And like it's a fucking great movie. And they had a post-credit scene at the end for the new movie. And it was just this scene of it looks like a child Na'vi. He's swimming, he's in water, and he's with this like, it's like a whale basically, And dude, like I guess apparently they did that mocap stuff that they did in the first movie, but they did it underwater.
That is insane.
Insane, dude. Like, yeah, you know, people always talk shit on James Cameron from when he went over budget on Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, that's gonna bomb hard.
Yeah,
Biggest movie of all time. Said the same thing about Avatar, and Avatar 2. Like, I swear to God, dude, like. People are gonna be coming from different planets to come to Earth to see this movie.
I think
it's gonna blow us all away.
I think when it does come out, people are gonna shut up and go watch it. And people are gonna go watch it to want to hate on it.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Like I feel like people will probably go, oh, the story.
Yeah.
But
I think the cool thing here is that so you finished all the table setting. Now let's just open up the world here.
Yeah.
And for 3 hours, I'll probably see it 4 times in theaters.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, there's really not much to say about Avatar.
I need to rewatch it.
You need to fucking rewatch it.
You have the 4K?
They don't. Okay, so the only James Cameron movie that is available on 4K is Terminator 2. Everything else is high def.
That's really funny.
Yeah. There's not even Blu-rays out for True Lies, which is my favorite Cameron movie, or The Abyss. And yeah, he said like 10 years ago, he's like, "Oh, I just need to sign off on them."
they're just sitting in his mailbox.
They're just sitting there, yeah.
On his dining room table. He's like, I should get to that sometime.
Yeah.
it's like 4 signatures though.
Dude, fucking Titanic isn't even in 4K. like I don't know. Well, I think hopefully soon, yeah, because this was a 4K restoration for Avatar. I think for sure by the time the new movie comes out and the weeks becoming like they're gonna re-release it.
I bet they'll do that.
Yeah.
Like before
they took it off of Disney Plus for this re-release.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I look forward to seeing that again.
And, that's a genius move. They're gonna put out the 4K and all that stuff right when it comes out in theaters, so that you get the 4K, you watch it, and then you go watch the sequel.
Yep, exactly.
Genius.
Yeah, fucking James Cameron. Don't doubt him.
I mean, dude, I've gone through I've gone through multiple life crises since the last Avatar movie.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
And I'm still gonna go watch it.
Yeah.
But I've become a man since then.
Yeah,
I was like 13 when that movie came out. I think
I was
12.
I was a freshman.
Yeah, I was like 7th grade or 8th grade then. 8th grade. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's exciting. I want to get into Hollywood hunks, but I have gotten nothing other than Brad Pitt's mean. Have you seen that stuff?
Wait, what?
Brad Pitt, apparently, like Brad Pitt, is it Angelina Jolie?
Oh yeah, she said something about what?
Apparently, he is not allowed around his kids,
really,
kind of thing. So it's a lot of seedy stuff. I don't know
Johnny Depp-esque.
Yeah, probably.
Oh.
All those actors, man. You know,
Brad Pitt. Okay. Whatever Angelina says, it's definitely not the level of Johnny Depp.
It would have to go to court. We'll have to see that court ad nauseum.
Oh,
but
God.
yeah, that Brad Pitt's so hot right now, and I want to see him in the Damien Chazelle. Really funny to be like, I'm excited to see this abuser in the Damien Chazelle movie. Good pivot, Josh. Good pivot. But have you seen the trailers for that Damien Chazelle movie yet?
No, wait, what is it?
I forgot what it's called, but Babylon. It's like about old Hollywood.
Okay,
it's some old, and I think he's playing like an unhinged director kind of thing, and it's like, ooh, it looks 20s, but I think it's probably like 50s maybe.
As long as it's better than Mank.
Yeah, dude. Did people like that movie?
Did
it get good reviews?
Dude.
Man.
Like, I remember when that came out, I was actually dying of COVID when that movie dropped.
I remember texting you about it.
Yeah, and I remember there was a split between people. There was people who were on the side of Mank, and there were people on the side of Orson Welles, because that movie's so fucking boring, Mank, that nothing happens till the last 10 minutes where the movie decides Orson Welles is a fucking dickhead that just took credit for Citizen Kane. And
all I remember was there's a guy with a broken leg, and they're like, "You need to write a fucking movie, dude."
Yeah,
Like that's all I remember about the movie,
dude. And like, oh, okay, yeah, it's cool. You made it sound like it was recorded out of a tin can. You turned your digital camera to black and white.
you
really fucking cool,
didn't
dude.
use a boom mic. Good for you.
What was I trying to get at here? Was it a good movie? Was it positive?
Wait,
Yeah, it was
like,
nominated for Best Picture and shit.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
And I remember when I watched it as I was dying
Wasn't
of COVID.
it the COVID year? Yeah, that was like the first COVID year, though.
Yeah, that was 2020.
I mean, so do you think it would have gotten nominated in any other year?
For sure,
Yeah?
because it's old Hollywood and they love to blow each other about old Hollywood.
Babylon's gonna win a lot.
It's gonna be nominated for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Damien Chazelle's already
Damien
an
Chazelle,
Oscar darling.
He is and for good reason, I would say.
Yeah.
Let's not misconstrue this comparison right now. I love Damien Chazelle.
Yeah, I
First Man.
I liked La La Land. I liked First Man. I didn't see I haven't yet to see Whiplash.
Whiplash is good.
So
First Man's probably the weakest to me.
Really, I thought First Man was probably the best.
It looks amazing. All of his movies look amazing. I want to see Damien Chazelle do crazy shit, and it's just like, aside from like the reveal of him going out into space, it's kind of just like a movie.
You know what? I watched it one time, or maybe I watched.
It's a one watcher.
Yeah, cause a lot of that shaky cam shit really grates.
Yeah,
especially when you get to the moon at the end, and it's like, you know, you got your camera on a tripod finally. You know, yeah.
I mean credit to that movie, that was one of the scenes where, like, when they show him like going out into the vastness, you feel the distance because you see the earth and and it's like this movie was so long that you're like, I feel like I'm that far away from the earth right now. Like the pacing made you feel that distance, and like, I mean, that's good filmmaking.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, in the moment, I'm a bit of a idiot, you know. I want to slap somebody. I don't know.
wait, I just remembered Pablo Schreiber, who I mentioned was in Den of Thieves. Yeah, he's in First Man. He plays Jim Lovell, who Tom Hanks played in Apollo 13.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. I just love that guy, Pablo.
Yeah.
I fucking love that guy. Watch him in anything.
Hollywood hunks, guys. That was our segment.
Could I bloviate about Pablo Schreiber a little?
No. I have to look him up.
Okay, yeah, more Hollywood hunks. Yeah, so Brad Pitt canceled.
Yeah, Brad Pitt canceled. Can't wait to see him in Damien Chazelle's movie.
Where he gets to play another abuser.
Yeah, he's probably gonna abuse a woman.
He's gonna be a J.K. Simmons character. From that movie I haven't seen.
Most likely, yeah. But
what the fuck is Leo doing next?
Is it the score? Wasn't he doing a Scorsese?
That's right. Flowers of the something moon.
Yeah.
With De Niro.
Oh, dude, you know what we forgot? We didn't talk about Licorice Pizza. We still.
Oh yeah.
I almost need to rewatch it. Maybe we should watch it together.
Yeah.
Sometime, and then we'll do a pod on it.
It's been too far. I was really drunk. You know, I feel like we were like getting somewhere in our talk with it, and then we just crashed.
No, I think we'll benefit from rewatching it, because I mean, we've both already seen it, and then we can kind of we can half watch it. And
it's a thumbs up for me. Thumbs up for me.
I'd say 4 stars, 5 stars maybe.
4 stars for me.
Yeah. But all right. I think that was it.
I think we could wrap it up.
Yeah, that was
Pazuzu.
real. Dude, we actually did real bad takes this time. Like, we actually shit on movies.
Yeah, we did.
We've been timid. We've been focusing on movies we like.
And then even a movie we were sort of shitting on, Exorcist 2, it was like 3 stars.
Nah, I wouldn't even count that one. I was just talking about like The Town and Don't Worry Darling.
Oh yeah. Fuck, dude, The Town. So yeah, don't watch The Town. Watch Den of Thieves, man.
I did watch Don't Worry Darling, I guess, but
Don't pay for it.
Don't pay for it.
It'll be on HBO. Okay, mark my words right here.
Create an opinion about the movie Don't Worry, Darling. That's my only request. Watch it and realize it's bad. Don't just be like, Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine. Like, who cares? David O. Russell's a terrible person.
And an even worse director. Thank you. This has been Real Bad Takes.
Okay.